Good morning, kinder friends. Welcome back. This is week 2 of at-home learning. I hope your first week went well. I hope that you had fun with everything that we had planned for you, and I'm so excited to get started. So for today with writing, we are going to make a sentence box. You might be thinking, what's a sentence box? We've never done that before, and you're right, we haven't done that before, but we are going to learn how to do that today. This is a sentence box. It doesn't look like much right now, but I just wanted to show you guys that it's a big rectangle shape and it is broken up into 1, 2, 3, 4 boxes. And I'm going to tell you how to make this, and I'm going to tell you what's going to go inside of these boxes that's going to help us write our story. Hello and welcome to my paper. So to make this sentence box, you need a paper, and I am just using the paper that's inside of the journal where I've been keeping my stories. And I'm actually using a marker. I just like my sentence box to be pretty bold and to stand out. So I'm using a marker, but if you don't have markers, that's cool. You can use crayons, a pencil, or a pen, whatever you have to write at your house. So we are going to get started. So there are 2 ways to make this sentence box. You can choose a way that's easiest for you. All right, so the first way, I'll write a number 1 right over here so you know that this is the first way that you can draw your sentence box, is the way that I kind of choose to do it. So you are going to make a big rectangle first, and then you are going to divide up the rectangle into 4 parts. So 1, that's 1 box, 2, that's 2 box, 3, and then 4. So, and if you guys end up making your rectangle and you find that you only end at 3, you can always add on another square, if that makes sense. So the second way I like to do this, and I'll write a number 2 so that you know that there's going to be 2 ways, is a little easier. You don't make the rectangle first. You actually just go ahead and make your squares by themselves. So we're going to do 1 square. When you do your second square, you want it to connect. 2 squares. Oh, it's okay if they're not the same size. 3 squares. Oh, they're really not the same size. And 4 squares. All right, that's okay. It's beautiful either way. As long as you have your 4 squares, you are good to start your sentence. I just want to add that before you start drawing your sentence block, make sure that you make it big enough to where you can either fit a picture or some words in here that is going to describe what each of these blocks is gonna need. All right, so each of these blocks is going to tell a different part of the story, and the point of a sentence block is just so that we are able to grab all of the important details that we are going to need to be able to tell our story. I feel like that's just going to make us better writers and better storytellers, and it's going to be very clear to our readers when they are reading our story that they know what exactly is going on. So the first important thing that you need in your first box is a character. So who is this story going to involve? Sometimes stories have more than 1 character, but for today my story is pretty simple, so I'm just going to add in 1 character. So the first box is the who, and you guys can write this at the top of your boxes too to kind of remind you. And the who I'm going to choose is going to be me. The story that I'm writing about is going to be me. So you can either write your word, or like I said, you can draw a picture. And I'm gonna Okay, so we are gonna draw me really quick. You are obviously gonna do a much better job because I'm trying to be the quickest artist that I can be. I have brown hair, it's kind of curly. Oh, I also have brown eyes and a big smile. Woohoo! So that's me. Again, you can do words, a picture, or both, like me. The second box is going to be your what. So this box can actually go in a lot of different directions. Let's go ahead and write what at the top. So this box can either be a food item, something you played with like a toy. It can be anything. It can even be an action item. It could be like run, or whether you were walking or whether you were doing something active, it can be that. I know it's just like, whew, you can do a lot of things with this one, but let me give you an example. So my what, I'm going to choose to write about my bike. I'm going to go ahead and write bike. I'm going to listen and stretch out the word bike as far as I can and try to hear every single sound. So let's see, what's the first sound in bike? B, b, ba, I hear an I. Bike. Ooh, so here's the thing. The sound k has two letters that make that sound. Do you know what those two letters are? Yeah, they're a C and a K. So you here, if you don't know and you just want to take a guess and you just want to choose one or two or both, it doesn't matter, they make the same sound. So you know that when you're going back and reading your writing, you know what it says. So I'm just going to go ahead and do a K. All right, so B-I-K, bike. I can read that easily. And there's the bike. Oh no, I don't have any blue. That's okay. I'll make my bike red. Ooh, and then two special things I have on my bike that I want to make sure I add is a basket. I have a basket in the front. And a bell. My bell is kind of rusty, but that's okay. All right, there's my bike. All right, so your third block is going to include the where. So this is the setting of your story. Where did this take place? Trying to think back to your story, thinking about what you want to write about. Where were you at the time of your story? So up here at the top, we're going to write where. And then in my specific story, my setting is at the park. So let's go ahead and write park together. We're going to stretch out those words so that we can hear every single sound, okay? We're going to say park. I hear a P, P, ark. So there's that k sound again, and I can choose either a C or a K, and I think this time, why not choose a C? P, ark. That way when I'm going back and reading, it's easy for me to read. Cool. Okay, that's my park. And then the last one is the when. So what time of day did this take place? What specific day? If there was a specific special day like your birthday or Christmas or whatever. So this is going to tell us that. So we are going to do the when. And my when is actually going to be a time of day because the actual day wasn't a special day like my birthday or something. It was just a regular day. So I'm going to go ahead and do the time of day, which was the afternoon. So again, we're going to stretch out our words. I hear a F. Noon. Oop, that was an N at the end. Afternoon. Okay, so there is my sentence block. And that's it. So your job now is to go ahead and put this in a safe space. So mine is in my journal, so I'm just going to make sure to put my journal in a safe space. And if you did yours on a loose piece of paper, make sure you keep that piece of paper somewhere where you can easily find it the next day. If you would like to, on the bottom here, you can add a problem and a solution. So I'm going to show you really quick. Problem and a solution. So on the bottom, I just wrote, where is it at? On the bottom, I just wrote a P for problem and an S for solution. So you can decide to add that into your story. So an example for mine, a problem could be that my tire popped. And the solution was that I called a friend and they brought me a tire pump. Something like that if you want to add more detail and some drama to your story. So that is it for writing. I will see you guys tomorrow when we get busy and write our story together. Bye!